Example 14.1 says that we've been given the equation of a polynomial function, and it says find the zeros of each polynomial function and then state what's called the multiplicity for each zero. So more to come on the multiplicity. Let's focus on the beginning of that last sentence where it says find the zeros. So when it says find the zeros, that means that we're talking about what are the x values where f of x is going to be equal to 0. So the first thing that I will do is look at this equation and I will state let f of x be equal to 0. And then I will end up with the statement 0 equals 2 times x minus 5 times x plus 4. And instead of writing it as x plus 4 squared, I'm going to go ahead and think of it as x plus 4 times x plus 4. So I'm not fully expanding it, but I'm also not writing it using the exponent notation either. So this allows me to see a nice visual of what all the different factors look like. So there is technically 4 factors here. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4 factors. The zero product property, I'll write that down, zero product property says that if you have factors all multiplied together equal to 0, which is what we have here, so in other words, we have to have some kind of factored form equal to 0, then we are permitted to take each factor and set them equal to 0 individually. So if I take the first factor, set that equal to 0, I would get 2 is equal to 0. Now, clearly, 2 is not equal to 0. That's a false statement. So one of the things that we're going to utilize is our understanding that if it's a constant factor, then we don't really need to be concerned with that in terms of finding solutions. But if it's a factor that has a variable involved, then there might be a possibility that we could make it equal to 0 if we choose the right value for the variable. So let's move on to that second factor, x minus 5 is equal to 0, and sure enough, if we solve that, we would figure out that x would have to be 5 in order to make that particular factor become 0. I'll put or we could even take x plus 4, set that equal to 0. That would imply that x is equal to negative 4. I'll do that one more time. Or x plus 4 could be equal to 0, which is going to state that also x could be equal to negative 4. Now that was a little redundant there, and that redundancy is what we call the multiplicity. So this is the multiplicity concept. It appears more than once. It's the same value, but it does appear multiple times. So here's how we'll write our answer. We will say x equals 5, and the x equals 5 only appears once. So it has multiplicity of 1, but x equals negative 4 ended up showing up twice, so it has multiplicity of 2. So we'll box that in, and that's precisely what we're asking for. Find the zeros and state the multiplicity.